Hello everyone, welcome again in Eng-Man YouTube channel. So we will continue our learning on fluid modeling with PVTP, right? And a clarification a little bit or a correction. So in previous series of or previous videos, the one model that I made, that I constructed was compositional oil modeling. So it's not retrograde condensate modeling. All right. And actually what I will do in the upcoming series of videos is also compositional oil modeling. But I think we can think in this way that in previous videos, I used PVTP with older version and now with the later new version, which has, significantly different look compared to the previous one. I think this one is more interesting. I think it can also help us visually to to know the workflow for fluid modeling, right? So I already addressed the compositional oil modeling in the past, but I will redo everything. And of course, I hope that I will also able to complete the regression topic because I haven't addressed it yet in the past. All right. And hopefully in the future also we have time to model retrograde condensate. All right, so we will continue our compositional oil modeling videos, and today we are going to add PVT report. So this is a must. This is a very important step because everything, if we have laboratory data, it will be stored in this add PVT report. Okay, so to do that, home, here, double click, and in characterization window, you will have this PVT report. Okay, double click on that. And here we have the window. This is the location, the directory for the file. And this is the browse button. So it's very simple. I'm gonna squeeze it, browse. This is the location for my file. Wait for a while. Okay, so now in my PVT report, I have reservoir conditions data, recombined composition. It's very important here. Later, I will use the components and also the composition. Constant composition expansion, differential liberation, and separator test. Okay, I will use all of that. That's why I have the PVT report here. Okay, so later on, in the next steps, we will use all the information or the value that we need comes from this PVT report. All right, so this is very important, and it also helps us visually because we have everything inside the PVTP itself, rather than you use PVTP for modeling and taking the data from other window, maybe PDF, maybe Word file. No, we have everything inside the PVTP itself. All right. And then after this, after PVT report, we will double click at PVT sample. So this is the next step. All right. Okay, so here we double click on this one. All right. By the way, you can also see this sign X, red X means that this data, which is very important, still empty. And we need to populate this composition section with data, of course. And also we need to provide the lab data, which already stored in PVT report. Okay, so double click on this PVT sample. All right, maybe you want to put information here, information, location, YouTube, and then this YouTube has also Eng-Man. All right, and then sample type, Donald sample, reference pressure, 0 psig, atmospheric pressure, reference temperature, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And then here, for the reservoir temperature, let's populate it with our data, 185, 5949 for the reservoir depth in feet, and reservoir pressure of 2,339. All All right, and then we need to select the components that we will use. Okay, and here I'm going to need methane, and then press Ctrl button, ethane, propane, isobutane, normal butane, isopentane, NC5, normal pentane, up to hexane, C6. And for the non-hydrocarbons, I need my carbon dioxide. Okay, and then the rest, leave it as it is. Main database, petroleum experts. This is the version, creation date, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then click on OK. All right, select components. In order to validate the component selection, please click Apply button in the Select Components screen. Okay, click on OK. Sorry, double click on that. Okay, up to hexane 8, and then carbon dioxide. Okay, and then apply. Okay, so after you click on apply button, you go to the next step, which is enter composition. Here, all the components have been automatically inputted here. Okay, and also for the molecular weight here. But of course, we need to populate the information here, reservoir fluid mole %. And here the composition input, you can enter total stream composition. You can also input the recombine from separator oil and gas composition. And for input S, you can input as mole or weight. And for the type, you can input it in % or fraction. All right, by the way, I need one, pseudo component here. Okay, so I will use plus this one. All right, and then we need to provide one more, or maybe we can click on apply first. This will reset all component properties to their database value. Are you sure you wish to continue? Yes. Okay. Okay, so by clicking on this num pseudo components, the number of pseudo components that you have, I use 1. It will automatically populate this column with this PS1, pseudo component 1. Okay, and I already have this information in my PVT report. So the information that I have is the molecular weight. I will populate this cell with the data later. Okay, so in %, it's 0.8, 36.22, 8.65, 7.78, and then 1.94, 4.58, 2.26, and then 2.42, 3.25, and for the pseudo component, all right, it's 31.2. Okay, and this is the molecular weight. It's 220. All right, you can also, yeah, it's like this. All right, so far so good. So, we have the component names. We know the mole % of each component, and the weight % will be automatically computed. And then molecular weight, we know. Also for both for the pure components and for the pseudo components. Okay, the next one we will add experiments from PVT report onto this PVT sample. Okay, but I think we can call it a day. Okay, so we will learn one step at a time. In this video, we have learned about inputting the PVT report and then starting the PVT sample. In the next video, we are going to talk about entering the lab data. Until then, see you and thank you.